Anybody that you can bait with a tweet is not someone you can trust with nuclear weapons. Anybody who is upset about a Saturday Night Live skit, you don't want in charge of nuclear weapons. No, I'm serious. This is a guy who tweets, they should cancel Saturday Night Live. I don't like how Alex Baldwin's imitating me. Really? I mean, that's the thing that bothers you and you want to be president of the United States? Come on, man. Come on. Can't do it. Now, I think the thing, but you know what? We have to be honest. He's got support here in Florida. He's got some support around the country. No, he does. If he didn't, then I wouldn't have to go around getting everybody to vote. He's got some support. And the most frustrating thing is some of his support's coming from working folks. People say, well, he's going to be our voice. Are you serious? This is a guy who spent 70 years, his whole life, born with a silver spoon, showing no respect for working people. He spent a lot of time with celebrities, spends a lot of time hanging out with the really wealthy folk, but you don't see him hanging out with working people unless they're cleaning his room or mowing the fairways on his golf club. You're going to make this guy your champion if you're a working person? Come on. Somebody who spent his life without ever showing any regard for working folks. But he has insulted minorities and immigrants and Muslims and Americans with disabilities. That's the voice you want? You want a voice who's bragging about how being famous lets you get away with what would qualify as sexual assault and calls women pigs and dogs and slobs. And when he pays attention to women, it's because he's grading them on a scale of 1 to 10. What kind of message are we sending if that's our voice? I tell you what, we're going to teach our kids, I want to teach all American kids, that our diversity is our strength. That in America, it's not about what you look like, but who you are and what you do and what your character is. That women are not just full and equal citizens, they may be a lot more capable of doing what a man can do. But the problem is that he has said so much stuff, and our culture and our media has just gotten so reality TV-ized. I know that's not a word, but you get my drift. It's become normal when somebody just says wacky stuff. As long as they're famous, we think it's okay. I mean, and you hear people justifying it. They're all like, well, maybe it's just locker room talk. Or I don't really like what he's saying, but as long as he supports Republican policies and he cuts taxes for the wealthy, that's what I care about. Saying character doesn't matter. Let me tell you something about this office that I've been in for 8 years. Who you are, what you are, does not change after you occupy the Oval Office. All it does is magnify who you are. All it does is shine a spotlight on who you are. If you disrespected women before you were in office, you will disrespect women as president. If you accept the support of Klan sympathizers before you are president, you will accept their support after you're president. if you disrespect the Constitution before you're president and threaten to shut down the press when it says something you don't like, or threaten to throw your opponent in jail in a live presidential debate without any regard for due process, if you discriminate against people of different faiths before you are president, then that is what you will do in office, except you will have more power to carry out the twisted notions that you had before you were in office.